through a dead spot, and I guess we lost, I don't know, sound or picture, but everybody in the comments was like, where'd Matt go? Where'd Matt go? I don't know if I could go on. And I was like, oh, God, here they go. And so we ended that feed and started a new one. We're heading up East Cemetery Hill, and we'll go out to the first day. And then I have to go to Giant Supermarkets. To the left is the cemetery gate to the National Cemetery. You can't drive in there, so don't try to pull in if it's open. To the right is the Gettysburg Tour Center, not to be confused with the Visitor Center or the Heritage Center. Those are three different things. The Visitor Center is for the park. The Tour Center is for the double-decker bus. And the Heritage Center, they do a lot of things at the Heritage Center. They have a big gift shop. They've got some exhibits. You can get licensed battlefield guide tours out of there. They have events, speakers. They got a lot of stuff going on in the Tour Center. I'm sorry, in the Heritage Center. So remember that. So what happened, Peter? So when I went through Party Field, I saw it said, it just showed the progress circle of death, and then it said reconnecting. I reconnected and continued reading the comments from where I left off, and then as I scrolled down, I started seeing, did we lose Matt? He's in the 8th dimension. And then I was like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And then it had gone down to 15 people, and usually that's a sign that it never came back. So I started a new feed. Yeah, the Heritage Center is cool. Oh, you just got the spinning wheel. See, that's annoying because it used to come back, but now it doesn't come back, and I gotta. So, what a pain in the ass. It's Party Field. Yeah. Pally says, I may have missed your answer. You were out. Did you get an episode? Okay, yes, you did miss my answer. I gave you a good 3 minutes on that one. And then I read Mike's, the rest of Mike's story with the horse nudging his leg after he got on the new one. And I'm glad you didn't hear that, because I started to weep, and I admitted that I cried at Marley and Me. All right, so where are we now? Oh, your question about green. Yeah, we did do a green episode over the winter. And patrons, if you're a first lieutenant, you would have seen it being recorded. Am I right? I feel like I remember doing one about green. I can't remember who the guide was. But we do have one, yes. It will be out sometime. See, now that we do our Ask a Gettysburg guides as live streams, all the ones that we've had recorded are backups for when we take a day off, or when a guide has to cancel at the last minute, stuff like that. So I keep them in the can, as it were. And I think Pap Green is in the can. You did it was with Kevin Bryant. Yeah, okay, you're right. We did. Yes, I remember now. Okay, thank you. Who was that? It was 6 questions. No, I think you're right. 6 questions. It was with Kevin Bryant. And yes, so that is in the can. So the short answer to your question, who was that, Pally, is yes, we did. The long answer is what I just gave you. The medium answer is it will be out sometime within the next 12 months. Oh, Chillin' It's here, everybody. Oh, he's cute. So Gary Owen is over here. A lot of Gary Owen. It's a good place. Good food. Get the curried mussels. Delicious. And tell them to bring a lot of bread. And don't let them take the curry sauce. It's not a sauce so much as... Well, it is. It's a sauce. But don't let them take it from you. Because you want to dip the bread in it. It's good. All right, so we're going to go out to the first day's battlefield. We're going to take Reynolds Avenue in. So it would be Biddle's Brigade and the Iran Brigade. And we'll take that all the way up to the Peace Light. And then we'll zip on down through Howard's Line and end at Barlow's Knoll. And then I have to go do some grocery shopping. So that's where it'll end. This is Springs Avenue. Very nice neighborhood for those of you with the what we call deep pockets. Pally, you're welcome. If so July we're doing we have July's our off from recording month. So the Ask a Guides that will come out then will be pre-recorded. I think I already have them. They're not mostly edited yet, but I have them. What is this? What's going on here? I'm distracted. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, it's a music festival. Brass Band Festival? Yes, it is the Brass Band Festival. So they're mostly recorded, ready to come out. So mostly edited. And they'll be out I forget the schedule, but it's every other Tuesday. I forget which the first Tuesday is going to be. It won't be George Sears Green. However, I believe November and December will be, November will be one pre-recorded and December will be two pre-recorded. So I'll put them out then. I promise. Just remind me in October. Did you ever browse the book on Cutler's Brigade or anyone? Yeah, browse it. I have it. Or what is it Michael Scott says? Read it. I own it. Yeah, I have. I was looking for, I forget what I was looking for, but I was looking for a particular piece of information. Run, old hare. All right. Stella says, volunteers were cleaning out the brush at the first day's battlefield. Not sure if the exact spot. Yeah, I saw some at, what would that be? Like the, like around the 111th New York. That area there, that stone wall there. I saw some there too earlier. Peter, that's true, Peter. I don't read. I do read. I don't have the time to sit and read a whole book. I was staring at my bookshelf the other day and I was like, if only I had the time to read all day. I used to love reading all day. I just don't have the time to read all day. And I wish I could read an entire book when we have an author on, but the way the recording schedule is here, let's get more amber waves of grain there. The way the recording schedule is, I can't. So when I have an author on, we just do a chapter. And then, well, the whole idea is to get you to buy the book anyway. So we just talk about a chapter and then you go get the book. And by the way, thank you for doing that because, and you do buy them because I hear from the authors that after the show came out, they got a little spike in sales. I also hear that for the historian. He's like, I can always tell when you had an author on because I get a lot of calls or people coming in looking for a particular book. And so that's nice. And thank you guys for doing that. That's the whole idea. And the authors surely appreciate that because, as you could imagine, selling a Civil War book isn't quite going to get you on the New York Times bestseller list anytime soon, because this country is not particularly interested in that stuff. But it helps. In a small way, it helps. Yeah, I think audiobooks might be doing better. And I think it's almost standard now that books have an audio version. I mean, let's put it like this. It would be kind of dumb to not do that. Maybe not right away, but at some point an audiobook has to come out, because I think that's the only way books are going to ever survive, is as an audio book, because once people my age and older are gone, I don't know many people are going to be buying books. I gave my nephew a book for his birthday one year, and he said, "What's this?" Thought it was a door stopper. So, it's a dying thing. Podcasts, YouTube videos, especially audiobooks, that's the way to go. Right, Van, the old AG bump. It's a small bump. More like the old AG speed hump. Peter found a picture of himself getting his first Civil War book. That's funny. Valerie said, I enjoyed the 17th Connecticut book last year, and then we followed their path when we were on vacation. Oh, are you talking about, was that Carolyn Ivanov's book? Or was that the 20th Connecticut she did? We Fought at Gettysburg? I have so many book interviews that I can't remember one title to another. I think it's We Fought at Gettysburg is hers, but I can't remember if it's the 17th or whatever. But okay, Katie says, I'm in the middle of so many Civil War books I love to read, but it's always just the finding the time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Audiobooks are great. Many public libraries have apps for that. Six Questions says, that is awesome. Carolyn Ivanov did a great job. Yeah, okay, that is. Van says, I believe it's the 17th. I believe that is correct. And I think she did oh, no, Peter says he thinks it's the 20th. Well, we'll see, because we're going to go to their monument when we're on Barlow's Knoll, if I'm not mistaken. God, it is a nice day. Yeah, that's why. So Mike says it is the 17th Connecticut, although she's very knowledgeable about the 20th. And my confusion is because we did an episode, an Ask a Guide, I think it was, about the 20th Connecticut with Carolyn and a new guide to the show. And his name escapes me because he's only been on once, and it was a year or more ago. But that's out there about the 20th Connecticut. Her book is really nice. And that's an easy one. You don't have to read that cover to cover. You could, you should, but I can't. So, but there's good anecdotes in there. Well, no, there's more than anecdotes, but. Also, another one I really love is Our Story, and it's about 1st Rhode Island Light Artillery Battery B, Brown's Battery. That one is good. Again, you don't have to read that one cover to cover because every chapter is a short biography about members of the battery. And it is really good. And it's put together by our friend Stephen Evangelista, who reenacts with Brown's Battery. And he wrote it as the story of the guys that they're representing, and by the way, a way to raise money for their organization. So you getting that book helps you. It helps a lot of things. Helps them continue doing their living history and reenacting, and it'll help you fill your brain with some really great stories about some awfully brave men. Some heartbreakers in there too. And I don't mean they were good looking, I mean heartbreaking stories. Hey, if you're a patron, go back to yesterday and look and see the video I posted. You may not be one who likes to watch editing sessions because they're about as exciting as paint drying. But in the beginning, I filled you in on some new information, a little announcement, and something for you as patrons to participate in. Actually 4 things for you to participate in. And if you participated in our anniversary episode recordings, and you liked it, then you'll want to check this out because it is more of that, but a little bit different, but a little bit the same, but also a little bit different. Hello, Eric. How are you? Eric, do I owe you a phone call? I think I do, don't I? Have we done an episode on Bigelow's Battery? We did. No, we did a and I'm glad you asked that because I would like to do one on that. And I think Mike Rupert would be good at that because we did for the anniversary shows last year. I took Mike Rupert out, and I think he did a good chunk of a talk on Bigelow's Battery, but it wasn't solely about Bigelow's Battery, if I'm not mistaken. And it was like a 45-minute talk, and I had to cut it down to fit in with the full episode. So there's more of that. I should probably, if I still have those, I should release them for the patrons so you can hear the whole thing. Eric, you told me to call you, which I did. Yes, you did. I didn't answer it. Right. I owe you a phone call. I will call you. I really like to know how the heck and why they got in that yard. How the heck and why they got in that yard. Here we are in Barlow's Knoll. I like Mike's answer. Under duress. And here you go, the 17th Connecticut. Here they are. All of them stuffed in that monument. And look at this, ready? Sergeant Edwin Pickett. I mean, George Pickett wasn't the only person with the name Pickett, you know what I mean? Know what I mean? Oh. Well, Peter, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they started over on like where Wheatfield Road is and had to retire to the Trossel farm. They weren't ordered to the Trossel farm like from behind. They had to go back from the front. I'm sure they would have rather not been there in that bowl. Ryan Dunn says, thanks for the help with setting up a tour with some great guides. Oh, you're welcome. Did you set something up, Ryan? Carolyn Ivanov says, Estella, her book ties in really well with Ron Kirkwood's Too Much for Human Endurance. The injured soldiers in Carolyn's book all end up at the Spangler farm. Ah, yes, good point. Good point. Yes, Eric, only 6 days to CWI, and as always, I am woefully unprepared, or underprepared in this case. This year, the content that we're going to do at CWI is going to be a lot more streamlined. It took me a few years to really get a sense of how to cover it. And while I was doing audio only stuff, it was kind of, it never really made for good content because it was recording audio of lectures. And, I have to get a bunch of different recorders and train a couple people on how to use them. And then we come up with a schedule, and this person's going to record this one while this one records that one, and this person's going to do that while Matt's interviewing this person up in the room, and blah, 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 blah. And then we got a camera, and we started videotaping interviews, and I said, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. We're just going to videotape interviews. And that's it, and that's that. That. Guy to get Bigelow's batteries. Eric Campbell, former Ranger. I told you about him before and spoke with him. He said he would do it. All right, yeah. Just do you know how to get in touch with him? Best thing to do, Kevin, anybody, is when you have that connection for a guest, going through me it's going to go into a black hole. You got to go to Dave at addressinggettysburg.com and he'll make it happen. I don't do the schedule. Dave does the schedule, and I can't do the schedule. I have too much other stuff to do, and if I did the schedule, I'd be constantly back and forth with emails trying to find dates that work and everything. And so Dave is very kind. Dave from TR Historical. Go to TR Historical for all your historical needs. He's got awesome merchandise over there. But yeah, he does that. Peter Zach says, one little open in the gate for a batter to go through. What could go wrong? Well, I think we know. Sixth question says, they started on the Wheatfield Road and fell back to the Trossel Farm Lane. Bigelow was ordered by McGilvery to buy time. That's right. AKA sacrifice his battery to establish a new artillery line. That's a future license guide there, ladies and gentlemen. Is there a theme for CWI this year? Yeah, I think it's kind of a loose theme about the works of Peter Carmichael. I don't think it's going to be, it's not really like a memorial type of thing. It's more of a, just kind of talking about things that Pete was interested in talking about, things like that. It's a good schedule. Go, if you just Google Gettysburg CWI Conference 2025, the schedule will come up. And take a look at the schedule. It's pretty good. Pally says, sorry again to ask a few questions. Did you do Wright's Brigade on July 2nd and how close they came to victory? You know, Pally, either I have done all these that you're asking, or you just have really good ideas for them that I feel like I did them. I don't know if we did Wright's Brigade though, but I feel like, oh, what the hell? Oh, didn't we do a get out of the car tour for Wright's Brigade? I think that's what it was. That's what I'm confused with. Yeah, so no, but that's another good one that I will put on the list. I like that. Wright's Brigade is a good one. Got to get some more Confederate brigades in there. No, don't apologize. This is good. This is what, you know. I mean, obviously I do the show for myself, but I'm more than happy to share it with people. So if you have an idea that you want to hear, then we'll make it happen. It's going to take a while. Sometimes it takes a while. I remember one person kept having ideas for shows, and like 6 months later we did it, and he's like, hey, that's my idea. And I said, yeah, and now we're doing it. And but he got too impatient that I didn't bump his ideas to the beginning or to the top of the list all the time. But you know, I got a pipeline, and ideas go into the pipeline in the order they come, and so that's when we work on them. No, Gary Gallagher is still with us, I believe. Yeah, no, what am I talking about? I believe. Yeah, he's still around. Eric said, Wright's Brigade is Mr. Trott's true high water mark. Yeah, there you go. Pally, the Wright's Brigade was a get out of the car tour. It has talked about another. Right, it's always alluded to in other episodes, but we've never done one solely on Wright's Brigade, and I think that's a good idea. I'll ask Lewis if he wants to do that. Pally says, I won't do that. I understand. Right, because you have a brain, Pally. 60 Seconds said, hello, Matt. Eric says, no, they were just bringing together all of Gary's former students to present. Thanks, Lance. Sixer says, blah, blah, blah. No, but the original plan was to honor his work. He passed away. Yeah. Right. That's what it was. It was going to be about Gary Gallagher, and then Pete passed away, and everybody thought it would probably be more appropriate to do one about Pete this year. And everything. It's going to be sad. It's going to be bittersweet. I was talking with Ashley Lusky the other day, and we were talking about how it's not going to be the same, and but we're looking forward to it, and we hope that, you know, we all kind of acknowledge that, of course, and still try to find our own thing, you know, and just remember the way Pete did things and try to live up to it as best we can. And it is something to live up to. He was, one of the things Ashley and I were talking about is just what a once in a generation type of guy he was. And I said that my feeling is that the next Peter Carmichael is either in or about to enter college. So, you know, we'll all be out to pasture when he starts to emerge. Or she. I guess that's true, right? It could be a he or a she. It's anybody's game these days, right? Everybody's welcome. So, yeah. I hope those are fireworks I'm hearing. It sounds like fireworks. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. I rock you roll, excuse me. All Georgia brigades. Georgia doesn't get enough love. 4 of the 8 brigades of the 2nd were from Georgia. 2/3 of the regiments. Maybe that's what we should do, is just Georgia at Gettysburg. Maybe, no, you know what? I know what we're going to do. I got it. And it stays close to the vest until we start doing it. All right. I'm going to go do some grocery shopping and then get home. You guys have yourselves a fantabulous Saturday night and a wonderful Sunday. and I will see you when I see you next. Um, I don't know, maybe patrons. I'll do another editing thing. I do those just so that people understand, even though we've taken what are we doing? It's like not a restriction. What's the word? A constriction of releases in order to preserve what we have or conserve what we have as our reserve episodes. If we do 2 a month, that buys us about 7 months of not having to release a weekly show, so that I can focus on these video things. And if you're a patron, you know probably a little more than everybody else about what we've got going behind the scenes. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the video I put up yesterday, just the beginning of it, and then when it gets to the editing, you can turn it off. Yeah, so I put those editing videos up there so that the patrons know I'm not just sitting here sipping Mai Tais at the pool. I'm actually stuck in a friggin' office on a gorgeous day doing some eye-bleeding editing. But I had a meeting the other day with an intern from the Gettysburg Film Commission that Bo and Chris put me in touch with, and he's very interested in volunteering as an editor. He just got out of film school, and he's very eager to get his feet wet with some actual real-world experience. And I was like, well, doesn't get more real-world than this. So we'll see. We'll see. Pally, you are not bothering me at all. I love questions like that, and they give me ideas, and as long as you're patient, you'll see these ideas come to fruition eventually. Fraser, you're welcome. Have a good night. Yep, Mike's right, Pally. Keep asking questions. Mike's made a career out of it, and he has a nickname for it, so go ahead and do it. All right, guys, you have a good one.